We've all been there, texting, waiting, wondering why the person you're interested in hasn't replied. The anticipation, the frustration, the overthinking, what went wrong? But what if I told you that sometimes the more you chase, the further they run? Yes, it's counterintuitive, but the truth is, when you act unavailable, when you step back, she will often come running. Why? Because attraction isn't about being constantly available, it's about being valuable. And when you're always available, your value diminishes, the mystery evaporates, the chase dies. So let's dive into why acting unavailable is actually one of the most powerful ways to draw someone closer. Number 1, creating emotional space. Think about the dynamics in a relationship. When you're always there, always responding, always available, it creates a pattern. Predictability. And while predictability might feel comfortable, it's not what sparks attraction. Humans crave mystery and novelty. If you're always answering their texts within seconds, always there to listen, and always available, they start to see you as a constant, something they don't need to worry about losing. This creates emotional stagnation, but when you pull back just a bit, you create emotional space. This space, whether it's a few hours without a text or a day without a call, makes them miss you. When you're available all the time, you're not giving them a chance to think about you. When you're unavailable, you create a natural tension. You give them the room to wonder, to feel the void that your presence used to fill. Think about this. The most engaging relationships aren't the ones where both partners are constantly around each other. It's the ones where both individuals maintain their own sense of self, their own interests, their own life outside of the relationship. And when you're absent for just a bit, they start to notice how much they miss you, how much they value your presence. That's where the magic begins. Number 2, scarcity and desire. You've probably heard of the concept of scarcity in business, right? In business, people are often willing to pay more for something they perceive as rare or limited. It's a psychological principle. Well, relationships work the same way. When you're always there, your presence is no longer rare, it's a given. But when you take a step back, when you give her some space, your presence becomes a bit more scarce. And guess what happens when something becomes scarce? It's coveted. Scarcity drives desire. The more you pull back and stop being so available, the more she begins to want you. It's not about playing a game or manipulating emotions. It's about showing that you have a life of your own. You're not sitting around waiting for her to text. You're not obsessively checking your phone every minute to see if she's replied. No, you're out living your life, pursuing your passions, and when you finally connect, it feels more valuable. Number 3, creating tension and building anticipation. One of the most powerful emotional drivers in any relationship is anticipation. Anticipation leads to longing, and longing builds attraction. When you always respond immediately, you eliminate the tension. The tension, the space between the connection, is where the desire grows. If someone knows you'll always be there, always ready to give them the validation they seek, it removes the mystery. However, when you don't respond immediately, when you take your time and don't give in to every urge to text back right away, you create tension. This tension builds anticipation. It makes her wonder, where is he? What's he doing? And that wondering, the curiosity, is a major driver of attraction. As humans, we don't like uncertainty, but we love to solve puzzles. And when we can't immediately figure something out, it keeps us on edge. In relationships, it's this push and pull that makes the connection more intense. Number 4, independence is attractive. The more independent you are, emotionally, socially, and personally, the more attractive you become. Why? Because when you act unavailable, you're showing that you don't need her. You're showing that your happiness doesn't depend on constantly being around her or validating her feelings. This level of emotional independence makes you stand out. It makes you seem confident, self-assured, and emotionally healthy. When someone realizes that you have your own life, your own ambitions, your own friends, your own passions, without constantly needing to be validated, they start to see you in a new light. You become a mystery. You become someone they want to know better. Not because you're pushing for their attention, but because they recognize your value. This level of independence is what makes you intriguing. It creates a sense of respect and admiration. They don't want to lose someone who can stand alone, someone who doesn't need constant emotional reassurance. Number 5. The psychological aspect of not giving too much. Think about the dynamics of giving. In any relationship, whether romantic or platonic, overgiving can often lead to imbalance. If one person gives too much, the other may begin to feel overwhelmed or, in some cases, take it for granted. And in relationships where one partner is always the one reaching out, always making the effort, there's a subtle shift that can happen. One partner may start to feel like they don't have to try as hard. When you act unavailable, you stop overgiving. You stop becoming the one who's always there to fill the emotional void. By pulling back, you create a balanced dynamic where both people make an effort to keep the connection alive. This gives both individuals the opportunity to miss each other, to crave the connection, and to invest emotionally in a way that feels natural, not forced. Number 6. Confidence and control. Confidence is one of the most attractive traits anyone can possess. When you act unavailable, you demonstrate control over your emotions and your time. You're not desperately clinging to a connection because you feel insecure. Instead, you're showing that you're emotionally self-sufficient. That confidence, that ability to hold your own and not need constant validation is magnetic. In relationships, we're often drawn to people who seem to be confident, who have boundaries and are willing to enforce them. Acting unavailable, not in a cold or dismissive way, but in a way that shows you have your own life, interests, and plans, makes you seem strong. This kind of emotional strength is incredibly appealing. It shows that you're not just there to fill a void, but that you are a whole person on your own, and that makes you infinitely more attractive. So, the next time you find yourself reaching for your phone, about to send that text, stop. Before you hit send, take a moment. Remember that your availability isn't your value. Your value comes from your independence, your confidence, and your ability to give space, not just to the other person, but to yourself as well. Acting unavailable isn't about playing hard to get. It's about creating balance, building anticipation, and letting her experience the desire that naturally grows when someone isn't always within reach. When you stop chasing, you create the space for her to start chasing you. The truth is, when you act unavailable, when you stop being constantly at someone's beck and call, they'll come running. The mystery will draw them in. The emotional space will make them miss you. The scarcity will make them crave you. And that's the power you hold in relationships. The key is to always remember that the best way to keep someone interested isn't by giving them everything right away. It's by showing that you're someone worth pursuing.